The cliffs overlooking the Mana Wastes. The Maw was moved in recent decades to the Gunworks proper. Now, within the city, firearm licenses are usually the preserve of the rich, the watch, and the military. Nobles collect and admire embellished dueling pistols and ornate specialized muskets, while shield marshals and soldiers wield more prosaic but nonetheless effective personal arms. Full-time regular troops and shield marshals use flintlocks. Hunters, who venture outside the city, especially Aristilian foragers, enjoy the use of jezzails. Now, many inherit these heirloom weapons from clan elders and wield them with deadly accuracy honed by familial pride. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another
Valentine is very interested in these jezzails.
You want to know what a jezzail is? Well, jezzails are a simple, efficient long gun that were developed in the Kazmarian, which typically feature a custom stock, a flintlock firing mechanism, though they do lack the range and stopping power of an arquebus or the raw force of a harmonic gun. The jezzail is elegant, well-balanced, and suitable for a variety of combat situations, and it is even possible to tuck one under a single arm, even though it's a long gun, and fire it somewhat accurately with the use of only one hand.
Very interesting. And the harmonica gun sounds...
Now ask me what a harmonica gun.
Everyone wants to know. You just play that sucker and shoot things.
A harmonica gun is the favorite weapon of monster hunters in Arcadia. The harmonica gun is a large bore long gun that fires a heavily slow-moving round. I guess kind of like an elephant gun in modern times. The gun got its name due to the eerie similarity between the buzzing sound of its oversized projectiles that make flying through the air and the flight of a fay bird called a harmona, hence the name harmonica gun. And of course, because instead of just going, it's a flintlock, it's like they're taking 20th century and 19th century and 18th century and 17th century weaponry and just going, it's this from Earth. The fact that they're naming and sort of tweaking guns in fantasy, I thought it was worth a mention. So hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of the All Guns No Glory podcast. I am GM Jeff Ball, your host. We are playing the Pathfinder 2nd edition, trying to do the revised rules for the players, the Outlaws of AlkenStar campaign. We are in book 2, chapter almost 2, pretty much. Chapter 2. Wouldn't you know it? And when last we left our party, Charwin had a dinner date, a couple drinks with a carpetbagger. How'd that turn out for you?
Yeah, it was going really great. He even had some like spicy, I don't know, syrup thing or something I was going to use. And then we locked the door. It got weird. It turned into a fly alien thing. I don't like it.
You don't like it. So Charwin, not a fan of alien surgeon, wanted to do brain surgeon. We are, let's say, you guys had left Cloud Reaver Keep, and you're heading deep into the Mana Waste Scar Desert, right? And we're flying along. Now, maybe picking this up a couple hours. I mean, what would you guys do with the body? You just dump it overboard? Captain really kind of wanted to get rid of it.
Probably, yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Seems like a convenient place to put it.
Yep. The goblins assist, but pretty much put you guys to work like scrubbing decks because like there's been a lot of blood spilled on this ship.
Yeah, I was looking at the map of the ship, and I was just wondering how many encounters it's going to take for us to fully paint it.
For the podcasting audience, on the main deck, dead center in the booths, there's all kinds of snake stains. Upstairs, kind of directly above that, because of a giant snake, there's human blood in Lovey's room. And now, north end of the ship, on that same upper deck that's contained within the dirigible, sorry, Gamma, we have alien guts. This big winged, thing. I just don't want to end up in the soup. You know what I'm saying? I think you guys should get it overboard. I think Valentine might put it in a soup and then...
He probably would. But, I mean, honestly, food's food, right?
Well, you don't care, Mr. Crank, but...
I'm the only one that cares.
I just want to watch Charwin eat it.
What is
Charwin,
it?
oh, how the tables have turned.
Barbosa, now try the apples, like on the Pearl in the first Pirates Caribbean. He's getting her to eat everything. Now try this, eat this. It's just weird note. It would be cool if some forgotten soul shard that activated your little poppet was like some chef or some, Zorro by day and Gourmet by night there, Andreo.
Gourmand El Manubrio.
El Manubrio. Gourmet.
Guys, he's going to be on a chef's head under the hat, making the chef.
Ratatouille.
He's Ratatouille M. Rambrio. Yeah, he's Ratatouille.
Yeah, there
Ratatouille? Ratatouille. You just see the tail wagging all happy at the back of the hat, You fool. The whip comes out from the hat. Not that sauce. Anyway.
I said a pinch.
It's amazing he didn't get that. No one's noticed from this time. Very aggressive chef, So guys, having a couple of hours again, just traveling, getting to know the ship, maybe continuing our training in the world of. I don't think the captain has the patience to teach you to fly. Your flying lessons seem to happen at night. So I don't think she's going to let our puppet prance on the deck all day long when she's trying to fly her ship. So you guys are going to have to busy yourselves elsewhere. The goblins will take free help in the engine room, but I think even Pilo might get bored of that because your presence, as they try to explain stuff, they argue about teaching you, and then shit doesn't get done. And then eventually, they have to kick you out, or somebody comes up and Drake comes and checks on them. And they haven't got anything, in half an hour. They're supposed to have 6 hours later, you know what I mean? So not that you guys are getting kicked out everywhere you want to look into. I'm just saying, this is the vibe that's kind of happening now with so many weird things have happened on the ship. Everyone's on edge, and you guys aren't sort of making it better. But, hey, you talked her into flying out here. We're on a mission, got a day and a half, 2 to go, and we fly. You fly like there is no tomorrow. Not like Mr. Fly, but just like there is.
So are we still on the same day as fighting the big bug guy, or is this now a new day for spell and healing?
Say now, that is a very good question. No, same day. So morning, afternoon with bug guy. And
did we thoroughly search his quarters?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, but he's a passenger. Like everything he had was like in the carpet bag. You find some interesting surgeon's tools, like it's a healer's kit, just very advanced. Lots of too many scalpels, not enough gauze. You know what I'm saying?
Ew.
Not really a healing kit so much as a harming kit. The evil priest would love this thing. And his red pepper jelly. There's another jar of it, just in case there. So, is that pink or gray chunks in there?
Don't trust it.
Red pepper gray matter jelly, you know what I'm saying?
Brain
and
food.
anything you need to travel, like the carpet bag has got some supplies and like El Generico stuff. There isn't anything really of value or any better gear, no ammo. But if you wanted to replenish something basic, like say you're out of rope, or some basic backpack stuff, he does have that. Like if you go, oh, great, sweet, I used up my rope in the last fire that we tied up the bad guy. You guys are always tying people up. You never get your rope back. Something like that. But I can't say there's anything really of note or value on this guy. Same thing with Lovey and like the half elves. They traveled light. They had clothes, and they had
Weren't they merchants and have some kind of supplies?
Yeah. Yeah, but they weren't. They were kind of like running around. It's like their salesman end of the merchants,
Sample.
right? So they have a whole bunch of paperwork to like do up a deal, and then the money and the merchandise will change hands weeks later, right? So
They'd have the suitcase with all the miniature size things of what they sell. None of them are actually any good. Gotcha.
no, I think they just talk about stuff. Yeah, like I will throw a bone since of our shenanigans with Jay's character, and I'll pull up the party sheet, and I will say that in said personal belongings between the weirdo and our friends here, okay, there's like 10 silver. I'll put it in the party loot. Expenditure costs and get them A to B, and it's like, damn, these guys were broke. What they were, they really had to make a sale when they got the Cloud Reaver Keep. There just wasn't, the stats on them are like El Generico Bob from Game Master this and whatever, and they got nada for treasure. So being generous with 10 silver, pretty much what we can throw in the party blasting keep. Hilo.
Yeah.
If you wish to rest, because I believe in the new rules you only need 4 to 6 hours or 8. We
4 hours. Yeah, 4 hours.
Yeah. If
4 hours undisturbed. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to crash for 4 hours.
Yep.
And load up. And then hopefully, well, it's kind of a given because I do say it would happen 4 hours later if you want to spend the whole time sleeping.
Yeah. Well, what I'll do is I will get my buddies aside and say, listen, I know you guys all had a good time at the landing strip back there, but I want to let you know that skeletons have an advantage. We can just do it on our own. Watch this. And I'm going to cast Animate Dead, and I'm going to take the skeleton into my bedroom.
Masturbate
for about a minute.
Times come on, dude.
And for about a minute, you're going to hear what sounds like someone like shaking a bag of dice. And then, whew, that was good, my friend. Away you go. Have a good day.
He's rolling the bones.
Animate Dead has multiple uses.
I really want to reward that terrible idea with a hero point, but I don't think I should.
He's going to bed.
Nothing heroic about that, Jeff.
I got my hero's reward.
He saved nothing but loneliness.
He made his own blow-up doll. Like, that's genius use of a spell, but so wrong on so many levels. And he told you all about it, just so you know what that noise is. And then I'll figure it out.
Lasts just a minute, which is just long enough for Pilo.
Sounds like one of those cheapy wind chimes just getting blasted.
Not as much fun as it sounds, because I got to keep concentration on in order to keep the skeleton.
Did I mention the numbers for the show are dropping rapidly? I'm wondering if it's our new sense of humor that we've adopted thanks to Matt's cameo. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll take the 4 hours to go for a rest and heal up there.
Our numbers in Abomination are skyrocketing, and you just cameoed on that, so we'll blame you for those numbers too. So you look sad.
It's all about balance.
Yeah. Who was it that said the did you okay, I gotta ask. Is anyone gonna smuggle some of this alien into the food? Anybody?
Pilo's already been covered in it. We're good.
No one wants to take it.
Charwins definitely won't.
No? Valentine?
The alien, the thing we just
would you take a sample and slip it in some soup and serve it for lunch? Because they do let you take a cooking shift. I'm just curious.
I thought he like evaporated when we killed him. He like
No, the captain just insisted that when you told her what happened, you've got some crazy mutant, blah blah blah. She doesn't want to infect the ship with magical disease or whatever, because we didn't really know it's an alien, right? We just figured it was a mutant. She wants the carcass, overboard. She doesn't want it rotting. Sure as hell doesn't want to eat it, because if you eat, mutants from the Mana Waste, you're ingesting wild magic, and it just does not end well for anybody.
Yes,
So I figured Valentine would definitely
place us over a volcano. I would like to drop this in the lava.
This one halfling that's been locked up in a room the whole time just comes out and drops a gold ring and gives you a nod and goes back to his room. You never see him.
No, I do not want any piece of that. I hope it
All right.
is never seen again.
Oh, I see healing dice. What's going on there?
Charwin went and healed himself. Got a critical success on the dice.
Pylo, you're actually kind of wounded.
I'm sleeping to heal it off. I'm gonna take the 4 hours, like you said, and kind of.
Yeah, but did you have any healing or harm spells to dump on you before you sleep, before you get them all back, right?
No. No, I think I used them all. I have soothe. I guess I could soothe myself and heal. I would do it.
Okay. Doesn't hurt, right?
Nope. Soothe is one of the few that you can actually use on undead.
Cool. Target self, have a go.
You targeted for me already or no?
No,
Okay, I'll get that done.
I can. There you go. You're good.
Thank you.
Off you go.
El Manubrio, are you getting seasick? You've got clumsy 2 on you still.
I'll do it twice to myself.
Oh yeah, I got something happened to me. What happened to me? And how long does it last for?
That's back to normal.
It's cleared up.
I think he like attacks you, and if he lands a hit, then he was able to grab you.
Something happened. I remember it was bad, and I wasn't happy
Yeah.
about it.
But you know what? Kudos for you, Spiegler, to just role play something to bring it to the GM's attention. Oh, you look seasick, my friend. As opposed to, hey GM, I still have slow and prone on my GM. That was good. You keep going. That some hero points going to come your way. All right.
I just kick a little bit of the sludge off of one of my feet. Oh, thank you, Valentine.
That what kind of friend would I be with if I didn't let you know? We should probably talk to the captain and see if we are close to our destination.
Good idea. I'll get her to tow my crank, and then I will start patrolling. I'm getting very, very tired of having things sneak up on us.
Yeah, let's hope for clear skies for the rest of the way.
Okay. Pylo, can I have a performance check?
Performance.
Well,
Wants to see how happy the skeleton is.
as you cast soothing cigarette afterwards, I just figured performance check, and that's what you were doing as we locked
There we
down
go.
skills for whatever, right?
In the tower or in the open?
Oh, the open. Get out of my bridge, Mambrio. I told you. She's driving. She don't want you
29.
guys in there. 29. Very nice. Amambrio, perception. Manubrio, sorry. Little Brio.
That's okay.
Perception as you
Call me
gain a
Alll.
vigil. Yeah, L's cool. Thank you. Tripping over it.
Perception. You want it in the tower, sir?
Yes. Okay. Charwin, how are you spending the next 4 hours? Are you also trying to rest?
Yeah, I would rest to try and get my spells back a little bit.
Okay. Can I have... What would you do besides sleep? Rack your brain about that alien encounter? Think about reporting to you-know-who about you-know-what type of thing? Like, now you're on your own time. Would you lightly fill out a report, go over your notes and your mental, for your archetype? Anything like that? Would you?
No, I'd probably just be thinking about, all the nature and stuff. The fly thing didn't seem to be anything natural and
Okay.
kind of disturbed me a little bit.
Way to subtly ask for your biggest bonus spell to get the you-know-what score up. But sure, I'll take that, man. Give me a nature check in the tower. Valentine, how about a crafting check? You want to do some? Are you on vigil, or are you doing some maintenance? You know, cleaning the gun, that kind of thing. Yeah. What are you up to?
I did just say like, go talk to the captain.
Okay. Diplomacy. What are you trying to talk me into?
No, I just wanted to check our timetable, like see how close we are now to our destination.
So she confuses you with a bunch of sailor talk, like, well, it depends on the headwinds and blah blah blah. But 2 days, maybe a day and a half. We're lucky. If we had a strong headwind, it could be 3 more days. Yeah.
Okay, I will see what I can do around the ship. Maybe I can improve some of the efficiencies of your mechanics.
I'm sorry. She says, giving Drake the wheel. I have engineers. Don't be taking my ship apart. Not now. Not when we're mid-flight.
No. I simply mean I talk to your engineers and they can give me a task if need be.
All right. Well, you can drop as many schematics and come up with theories and blueprints, and you know what? If it works and I can prove it on the second kiss, you might actually make a little money from something like that if it takes off. But yeah, no sneaking and deciding that you want to go out in a wing and just an aileron or anything like that, or you'll be going right overboard with the carcass. You hear me?
I hear you, Captain.
Okay. I'll take that diplomacy since it's with a negotiation anyway. Sure.
Yeah.
I need something. What are you doing?
But that's
Where were you
that's a
at
good
all?
idea. Maybe I could like use some crafting to make some sort of schematic.
Yeah. So for 4 hours, 2 or 3 in, Valentine, did you want to switch to crafting and like 3 hours what you learned, and you learned your way around an engine, you just start drawing it out and tinkering with the idea? Yeah. Okay. I'll take your first one. Don't go nuts.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said 2 or. I thought you said 2
I
or
meant 2 or
3.
3 hours, not 2 or 3 hours. That's okay. I'll take the first one. All right. So this is what you're doing mostly, besides other things, for 4 hours, and this is the sort of last prevalent skill that gets locked into the ye olde initiative. When something happens, 5 hours later, from after dealing with Mr. Fly, we've flown through the afternoon, and the sun is beginning to set. It's twilight. It's not like about to be dark, but there is definitely that, we could go enjoy a sunset, or, the sun is, behind the ship kind of thing, setting in the west as we fly east, And we have, I want you guys to place your minis where you are resting, crafting, visualizing. Where are you guys? 'Cause you haven't. So we've been talking about stuff. We really haven't moved your minis around a lot. So, Pilo, you resting in a room somewhere?
I would assume I'm resting in whatever crew quarters or room that we've been given for whatever. I'd probably, there's the dead people from the one room and the dead bugs room. I would probably, or the dead, any of the people who are dead, I'd probably take one of their rooms.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Jarwin will be underneath the bar, sleeping.
Okay. And,
Alll is trooping back and forth down the main aisle on looking out the windows on the sides, and then down to the observation deck, and then back. Just
okay. Roll me a d20.
moi.
Open, yeah.
2.
Okay, that wasn't very exciting, but I was going to say, like, starting from whatever window, right? 1, 2. You're working your way back, right? This is where you are in your route. Fair enough?
Sure.
Okay. So, Pilo, you finish your dead resting cycle, and you're just chilling, and For a bard to regain their spells, they need rest, and it's kind of a reflection. Like you're a spontaneous caster, so there's no book for you to study. I mean, there's feats where you could, but I'm just curious. Do you like tune up your ribs like an instrument to check it? Like, do you go over the me, like like how do you prep?
I would imagine kind of make sure that most of them are in the place where they're supposed to be. If there's any that look like they got kind of rearranged when someone else did some healing, I'd probably kind of put them where they need to go. But they're probably all misplaced and mismatched anyways, as of we heal by, consuming the bones of others. So I would probably just kind of put them into place and just make sure they're in tune.
You're like a soldier cleaning their gun. You have like a blanket set in front of you, and you like have all your bones in perfect order on the blanket.
Exactly.
Checking each one by one, cleaning them and stuff.
It's funny. He could lay himself out like in the exploded view, and just one hand is crawling around doing the work. He puts himself back together. He's just laid out. All
that's just what they style. No one knows what to expect. They come and check on me in the middle of the night, and I'm just a hand crawling around. What's going on, guys?
Yeah.
I'm sitting there trying to draw a blueprint, and his hand comes up. His hand comes up on the table and starts trying to grab my pen while I'm trying to draw.
Well, the head can hop around by opening the jaw, and he can still talk. It's not like the head's dead. Any more dead than what's severed from the spine, but there's the head sitting there going, "Hey fellas," and the hand turns around, waves at you. Like, that's good. All right, so there you are, and you're putting yourself back together. Let's say, can I have perception in the tower, sir?
Certainly can.
Okay.
Main page, or does it matter? I guess.
No, tower.
They're both the same.
Skills.
They're both the same.
Well, one will shift your initiative, one will not.
Okay.
And you may not want your initiative shifted from your, awesome, whatever, right? I don't think they've changed it in revised rules, but initiative usually went off, like when you guys are surprised or attacked, usually goes off of the last skill you were using, because that's what you were engrossed in, which I think is a cool idea, right? So,
yep.
And there's no real way to cover that up. Because if you think about it, the DM goes, "What are you doing, Charwin?" Charwin, the DM, we're talking about occult. Okay, and then the DM starts going around the room. What skill exactly are you using at this moment while he's doing that? Right? It's like
the other thing that kind of doesn't work for doing it that way, or there should be like a way to apply it subtly on your end, is there are a lot of abilities that affect your initiative check. Like I've got an ability that gives me a +2, but if I'm like crafting, it's not going to apply that bonus.
No, but say you're crafting, or sorry, you're perceptioning right now. I would take that skill and you get your 20 perception. But as soon as I use it for initiative, you go, GM, I get a +2 because now it's become initiative, and we just tag it on top.
True that.
And that way it's when it's used for perception, it's perception. When it's used for initiative, like now, add 2, something I need to remember. But we'll learn.
And I also get an opportunity to interact to draw a weapon. So boom.
Okay. Out of the sun, no one's on the back deck, and Charwin is under the bar, flying out of the sun, rapidly closing on our back deck. A mutant humanoid does a triple fly speed of 40 feet and dives.
He wasn't dead.
Dives out of the sun. And hastily makes for the deck. Alll, continuing your unaware pacing.
Yep.
Right? 5, 10, 15, peek out the window. 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, peek out another window. Right?
Yep.
Bump, 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 bump. Now, having you stop and actually perceive out a window, I'm actually going to say is, worth an action. So I'm actually going to place you at the second window.
Sure.
Now, we were just talking about abilities that affect initiative. I have a reaction for the trigger is you roll initiative, and it's called Into the Fray.
Okay.
which is I interact to draw a one-handed weapon, and then can interact to draw a one-handed melee weapon, like a melee and a ranged. And then as my first action on my first turn, I can stride as a free action toward an enemy.
Okay. So in the movies
That I can perceive.
you've got your diehard guy, like the soldier, whatever, that's protecting everybody, and they're all riding somewhere, and there's a thump, the car goes over something, or there's a light, something where people would just go, huh, This guy pulls weapons, gets up, moves the front door. What's going on? Like, that's your you know what I mean? Like, you're a professional. Yeah. Weapons go out, and you immediately go investigate. You don't hesitate. And the way you describe that, that's what I see in sort of a cinematic view. You get the free reaction and the stride, jumps up, scoops up his gun. They're in his hands, goes to the front of the bus, looks out the front window, asks the driver what's going on. Like that kind of swoop, right? So, a second mutant humanoid flies ever closer and possibly alights on the back deck. And a third. And Charwin, can I have a perception check at -10 since you are asleep? You literally said I'm sleeping under the bar. And unless they've changed it, unconscious people perceive at -10.
All right. Want it in the tower?
Actually, because this perception is triggered by combat, you can do the open one, but you'll be stuck with it.
Oh, main page. There we go. Yep, -10.
Main page.
All right.
19. You are jostled. Picture you sleeping in the back of a car and he goes over some bumps, or something hits the car like a bird, or they run over a rabbit. Like, there's that annoying, but then it happens again, right? Something weighty, hits the boards on the back of the deck that are 20 feet from you, the same boards that you are lying on. It's technically the same floor, 20 feet away. Something heavy hits that floor once, twice, 3 times, like bump, a bump, a bump. What the hell is going on? Do you want to roll over, ignore it, and say, Mom, no school? Or is this enough to rouse you like, what the fuck?
Gosh, 3 in a row. I peek up. Maybe
It is only -4
-4
perception
Oh, really?
for being asleep. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, as I said, unless they changed it, look up shit rules, lawyers. That's your cue. Yeah. So there you go. So instead of -10, I'm going to give you a 6 to that and bring you up from 19 to 25. There you go. So on your initiative, you're awake. You make the decision to get up and look. And
yes.
Ending your round perceiving, wondering what's going on, looking around, you see 1, 2, 3 winged, mutated, because they're dudes with wings. They're rough looking, like very strange looking. Have all landed on the back deck. And you're peeking up, and they just kind of like all swoop in like a tri pattern, like start the World War II Baba Black Sheep, where they're like in a wing formation, so they're spread out like ducks, and the first one wings over and comes down in, uses the speed, and then pulls the wings out like a chute, and then bump on the deck, get on the other one, boom, boom, boom. They're all showing off their skills with each other, and they're very eager and hungrily looking around, going, aha, flying slow meal dinner plate buffet. And there's you behind the bar peeking up. And it's, crap, here comes something. I will I'm not going to ask you for stealth. You just kind of like, what's going on? And you look, you know what I mean? Like, you're foggy, blah. They see you, they see you. If they don't, they don't. These guys land, look around. Sniff the air and mumble to each other as they spread out and take their time sweeping the deck and heading from where they landed.
Oh, it's just the hired cleaning service. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how the windows get clean on the outside.
Yeah. Moving around, looking around. And that's them. They, land, look around, move a little bit. Blaster. Thump, thump, thump. And you just get that feeling.
Yeah, weapons drawn.
Okay. Now, nothing as opposed to like me asking you for perception, could you feel or hear them? They're a room and 50 feet away, so I won't. So I'm still going off of your 16 from crafting. But now that I'm turning the 16 into initiative, you can incite all those special abilities. So, weapons come out.
And I can stride as a free action to an enemy I can perceive. So is there like a window?
What were you doing?
I was just sitting at the sitting at the table.
There's the downside. If you're walking through the woods and some shit goes down, the weapons come out, you can move. You go jogging into the bushes. You're actually sitting down. You don't get to stand up for free.
No.
However, I will be kind because we're on high alert and you just kind of need to like slide out and move. You know what I mean? You're not getting up from prone. You're cleaning, you know what I mean? Normally I would be more cautious of the situation, but despite you sitting in a booth right on the edge of the aisle, I think it's like, I don't know if you've ever like, you're waiting for the check, you got your coat on, your ass is on the edge of that booth at Kelsey's, you're ready to go, and then you start doing something. You're looking at your phone, you're looking at the crap, blah, 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 and then Spiegler's thing kicks in. So no, I'll give it to you. So you can pop out, boop, right, into the aisle, and you want to stride to a window, or you want to just shift in towards a window and do that?
Like a window to the outside?
Yeah. You get the distinct feeling that something is wrong. And I'll give you this for free. You've peeked out windows before. They don't tell you. There's 3 places you can go where you can get a good view of something's gone wrong. The bridge, the back deck, or up to the crow's nest. Because they all have very commanding views of shit going down, as opposed to just peeking out one little porthole where you get a starboard view of you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I remember the last time something attacked us, they came out from the back deck.
Yep, and thanks to El Membrio, the bridge door is locked because of his prancing, so. Unless you want to hit a stairwell and work your way up to the crow's nest, you can go straight out the back if you wish.
Yeah, I'll go straight out the back.
All right. And it's time for some battle music. And your stride is, what, 30?
25.
25, okay. I will say that you're exiting difficult terrain to get your ass out of the booth. So that the first step out is 10. 15, 20, 25. You stride meaningfully, arm towards the back door, and you get within 10 feet of it, but you're a man with a purpose. Now that's for free, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now it's your turn. Damn it. You have 3 actions. You got 3 actions.
And yep.
I actually like that. That's nice. You like that compromise? I just call the booth difficult terrain, but it doesn't really affect your stride.
Yep. I will move the rest of the way to the door.
Okay, move the door. Open door. Okay. As soon as you open the door, 10 feet away, you see a creature, humanoid, with wings. And it looks hungry, and it looks like it's investigating, like it's prowling. You know what I mean? It's hunkering around, its wings are folded up, it's looking left, it's looking right, its claws are out. It looks ready to jump anything it finds. And you open the door, armed, and you have an action left.
This ship is for paying customers only. You can pay in gold or lead to your dome.
Oh, dude, that totally just got you a hero point. That was awesome. I'll give you a hero point for that.
I'll take a shot.
Okay. As a matter of fact, I think it's time to reset our hero points, is it not? I don't remember. No, I don't think so. I think I set them all again for Mr. Fly. So if you guys have got 0, 1, or 2, leave them at that. Spiegler, you get an extra hero point added to your character. And let's have at it. He is targeted.
Oh. That is a 19 for a miss.
It's totally worth it for the monologue, but as you raise your pistol and you're saying your piece, it looks at you, focuses, and then just like jumps, out of the way, cat-like, and you clearly miss it. Phew. And that brings us to the end of round 1. Our surprising round. At the top of the round, Pylo, you hear a gunshot.
Yep. I
And
will.
It's Valentine's gun.
I assume it would be Valentine shooting on this ship if there's anything going on. I'll make
Everybody has
my
a
way
gun
out
in
the
this
door.
world. Hey, you're a bard. You have very, very fine-tuned hearing, so I'm just saying, you know the difference between Valentine's gun, Mr. Bard, somebody else's. So there you go.
I'll make my way out the door and start heading towards the staircase. Like, guys, anyone around? What's going on? And I'll just kind of make my way towards that staircase down there.
Just clicking his last ankle bone into place, hopping up, hits the door. Okay. I will say that the sort of popping up next to the door and the door itself is an action. Sorry.
Yep.
But I'll give you 2 full strides. So 5, 10, 15. I don't think anyone really bothers shutting this other door anymore. Just to be kind.
I know
Like-
we haven't said we've done it. So.
No, I don't think you guys have. Like, who used to run around with all the keys in the door is the little dude. So if you guys have, if you go into a room to sleep or whatever, obviously I'm assuming you're shutting the door. Right? But you guys have the keys and stuff. So there's this for the podcasting audience, the back of the ship, there's a door that seals off this games room with its stairwell. And I honestly believe I'll leave this door open because you guys never shut it. So continuing on with your stride, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, puts you next to Valentine. who
Right.
is-
And I've only got 25 feet of action, so that's 2 strides and an action to open the door, so we're pretty good to go.
Yeah, 50 feet would put you on top of him, so not much else I can do. Burn it.
That's perfect.
Okay. Humanoid mutant. Sees the gunshot, sees it firing at his friend, and decides to take advantage. And being from this desert and the area, I know what guns are, and I know there's a reload time, because I'm somewhat intelligent, tries to rush Valentine. So 5, 15 to get to the door, and there he is. Pulls a scimitar off of his back as he does so, and with a sweeping upward cut, sort of a down to up, like he pulls it off his back and then comes down as he's moving forward, and then does a backhanded swish up, trying to rake the blade across the front of our automaton friend. A single attack left as my third action against Mr. Valentine with my scimitar. The 26 is a hit, sir. And does 2d6 plus 6 damage. This thing is pretty strong. Does 12 points of damage, raking, rattling your plates, undoing bolts, and you are considered lightly damaged, sir. And that's him. Next, we have little L. Peeking out a window, there's a gunshot.
Yep.
Oh,
It's on.
it's on, yeah.
And so I will rush to directly behind Blaster Valentine.
30, yep.
Yep. And even if with the extra difficult terrain for the bench or whatever, I still have enough to make it there.
Yes. So, I will penalize you -1 for the armor bonus through Valentine. I will not penalize you for through the doorway, because this guy is reaching, like Valentine's standing there fighting. This guy shooting. This guy is reaching. He's trying to be in the doorway to get at Valentine.
Sweet.
So I won't give him any cover beyond Valentine. So if you just give me a -1, you can do what you want.
Okay.
Sometimes the doors and corners play against us, which usually happens to you guys under my jurisdiction. But today, and I'm looking at this, I don't think it does.
All right, -1, and I'm going to attempt to trip. So the whip goes out in between Blaster's legs, seeking the ankles of flying scimitar bird man. Ugh. And I fall.
Critically fail with a 12. Okay. So you whip between his legs, and Valentine moves, and it binds your whip and pulls you off balance, and you fall forward.
Okay.
So it's no fault of your own, because you're just too special. I'm sorry. It's always somebody else's fault.
Yeah. Zero accountability. And then so move, attempt to trip,
Good too.
stand up.
Get up. Okay.
And that's
Good.
me.
I'm going to put prone on you. All right. Charwin, once again, is on the wrong side of the battle. There is a doorway and a wall between half the party and these things. And on the bad guy side, tucked around a corner, yes, there's a bar between you and them, is Charwin.
I don't know how I find myself in these places. I really don't.
Okay. Time to pull the spear?
Actually, I will raise my hand and tell them to cool off with a crashing wave.
Ooh, how many can you target with that? Just the one?
Let's see. It is a 30-foot cone, so I should be able to grab...
At least the two guys in front of you.
Yeah, so I think it's just those, two.
Yep, okay. This is like a reflex thing?
Yeah, it's going to be a basic reflex save.
Okay. What I'll get you to do, because you can't split these guys up, is one guy has a lot of cover from the bar. Right?
Yep.
The bar's like chest height, and it's literally between us. I won't even bother with the little part of the elf for the other guy. The other guy will just say he's in the open. So when you roll, you can't really sort of say cover for one and not the other. So how about you target one guy? Oh, you know what? It's only 2 to reflex and save. So that's fine. Just go. I'll modify it on the fly. It's fine.
Okay.
You go, Charwin. I'll worry about it in the after stints.
Let's see. Looks like they both succeeded with half damage.
What is the DC for you?
Looks like 21.
Yeah, so there's no 26 to their 24s. Wouldn't make any difference, really. So, okay.
All right. And then, let's see. 66 bludgeoning damage. So 22. So they both took 11 damage. And... let's see if
I thought you said 66.
Oh,
You did, but
automatic 66.
33, yeah. No. 6 dice 6. 6 die 6, yeah. No, still, dude, not too bad. We're desert people. In the arid desert, we're in the air. And the guy conjures like a swimming pool full of frickin' water, cuts open the edge, and it just goes, whoosh. Hey, washing the deck of all the guts. That's good. Could you cast this like after we kill and say, crashing wave down the hallway? Hours worth of mopping done in 2 seconds.
Right. And then, let's see, what do I want to do? I guess I'll pull out my spear and attack because I have quick draw.
All right.
And I will attack the one, I guess, closest to the door.
All right, so I will clear targets and give you the new guy. So with quick draw, you're allowed to draw your weapon.
And attack in the same action.
Can you look up quick draw for me? I'd like to hear the wording because I'm curious. Does it have to be a one-handed weapon or is it a two-handed weapon? Because you have a long spear, sir, and that is a two-handed weapon.
Let's see. Quick draw. You draw your weapon and attack with the same motion. You interact to draw a weapon, then strike with that weapon.
No, that's fine. That's pretty cool anyway. It would suck that, it had to be a dagger or something.
All
hey,
right.
we're stuck in the old rules in our heads until we learn the new one, so... Okay.
And I think that was an attack spell, technically, so second attack.
But well done, Charwin. Like, that's a very good... It's a good stack of spell and feat because of your free action to draw a weapon feat. That's pretty impressive, dude.
Yeah, I got a 19 on the dice for the miss.
Okay. they are washed back. They stagger, not movement in squares, but they stagger back and are all wobbly and soaking wet, and now, much smaller because we're soaking wet, and a harder target. Again, not your fault. And that's it for Charwin?
And that's it for Charwin.
Okay. The one that's directly opposite you that you have not attacked, flaps his wings to steady himself and tries to hop up on the bar. Let's see. Acrobatics. Ta-da! 23. Foomp. The cool display of a hover flap, he pops up on the bar. Pulls his scimitar as a second action, and using a forceful magical sweep, because those are all traits of my weapon, tries to nail you with his scimitar. Because we're desert people, and desert people, what a cliche. But you know what? If it works, it works. 23 swipes you high up on your upper right shoulder and gets you for 2d6 plus 6 for 13 points of damage. Charwin. Right beside him, the initial humanoid that Valentine shot before his brother rushed in the way between us, reeling from the wet and the blow, decides that even though I'm a Talon kind of guy, this shit's getting real. He starts off by pulling his weapon, and he will cleverly move around his... Yeah, but see, it's a caster, man. I'm sorry, Charwin. I want cover from the bar, and, you've become an uber threat. So I think he's going to hop up on the bar with his brother and have at you, because you have proven yourself to be a big problem very quickly. And I'm wet. That's just mean.
Hey
So
guys, I'm a threat.
Hops up on the bar, or tries to, with an acrobatics check of 24. And Charwin gets the scimitar. Natural 20 for a crit. Sorry, man. And he never napped outdoors again. Lots of ones in my D6s.
I was going to say only 20. Wow. I got off light.
Yeah, you did. 20 points of damage. But again, with my brother in the way, I'm soaking wet, slipping on the bar. And I'm even going to say I'm going to be nice and not say that I have high ground to give myself a +1 just because of the chaotic close quarters of what's going on here. And we have wings and stuff, so I'm not going to give him that. You're welcome. After I crit you, I know. What a lame apology. Bringing us to Blaster Valentine. One falls back and gets whooshed by water. A guy jumps in your way, opens up your panels, and now he's locked dead in front of you. You're at scimitar length, and new opponent, but what do you want to do? Target this guy for you?
I'm going to attack with my sword. Humanoid Mutant 3. There we go, I got him targeted. I'm going to slash with my sword, and I'm going to use a reloading strike. So as I slash, I'm reloading my pistol.
Okay.
That's a crit with the sword for 32. I just stab it straight forward and hit him through, like, his shoulder, like in between his shoulder and his chest. For 21 points of damage. And then as I pull my sword out, I shoot from the hip with my pistol. And I hit him with a 27. For 4 damage.
Okay.
And then for my final action, I will step diagonally back to beside Manubrio and do a moving reload. So I'm reloaded for the next round.
Well done.
Yeah, nice, excellent use of mechanics, sir.
Yeah, you guys are.
Thanks, guys.
No, you guys are starting to think mechanically like a party. Now, your terrain changes like every time we play. But since you're stuck on the ship, now you guys are starting to get used to the terrain of the ship. You know what I mean? You guys usually have one place, one location, one battle, and then you leave that location. Right? So yes, kudos. You're actually learning to use, the location that you are stuck at. That's pretty cool. Ending the round. Without warning, a mana storm descends directly upon us, directly above the ship, like a funnel coming out of nowhere. The sustenance envelops the entire ship, and the ship begins to rock as she, don't worry, steady as she goes. We are caught in a wind torrent. It is not an actual tornado that'll spin the ship or whatever, but it's enough air. And have you ever just like, oh, it's going to open up. You open a window and then you just see the rain come, and then you're like, damn, it got 2 shades of darker. Or you're inside watching TV and you see it get dark outside. You know what I mean? Like during round 1 and into the end of round 2, those 12 seconds, this storm forms out of nowhere. And much to the delight of Matthew Spiegler, it is asking me to roll on table page 71 to determine the mana storm's effect, which will persist throughout this event.
Better not be damn snakes again.
So, Spiegler, would you like to roll a d20 for me?
I would be glad to.
I am not getting blamed for this. Roll an open d20, buddy.
And around we go. And no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Stop.
Everything on here is a whammy, dude.
14.
14. Table mana storm effects. Let's see. Bleaching,
French fries.
vermin,
It's a storm of French fries.
anchored, unluck, French fries, strange reversal, gravity surge, physical assault, dazzling mane, geysers, sudden pit, befuddlement, death field, strangers to all. Here we are. Weird rain, primal conjuration, a rain of small objects.
It's freaking snakes.
Nope. Check this out. A rain of small objects. Anything from flowers to rotten fruit. Yeah, I guess it could be snakes. Pelts an area with a 10-foot per level of the mana storm for a number of rounds equal to the level. This rain doesn't harm creatures in the area. Creatures in the area have concealment. The objects remain even after the rain is over.
It's raining men, hallelujah.
Or is it raining gold? Hallelujah.
Not
Oh, that'd be an
gold.
awesome storm.
Yeah. No, unfortunately, it's something that's harmless, so it doesn't really have much weight to it. Though I guess if you got hit by a frickin' avocado, that would frickin' hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to get hit by it.
Anyway, anything, what would be good? Pepper jelly? No. Anything from... No, I'm gonna say a torrent of red blossom cherry petals. Straight anime. A swirling storm of cherry blossom petals, pinkish red and white, just swirl all over the back deck, gaining in a 10-foot radius. Pretty much this includes Charwin. We all have concealment.
Bankai!
Round 3. Let's talk about concealment. Pilo? Guys, you guys want to look up concealment? Because this is going to suck. Now that I'm thinking about it.
While we're thinking about that, are the two guys there, Jeff, off the ground? Are they on the bar? Or where are they exactly?
They are standing on the bar.
So they are not on the ground.
No.
Yeah, concealment DC 5 flat check for everything.
Okay, so it's just annoying that there's a wash of petals.
Except for area of attacks. area of attacks are not affected by this.
Okay, good to know, guys, for your strategy. So talk to me, Pilo. Were you thinking of an area of effect attack that hits the floor?
Yeah, only creatures that are on the. What does it say here? What's that? They're trying to think. It says such as stone floor that fill the burst. The area they fill is difficult terrain. Do creatures on the ground in the area, so they have to be on the ground. Yeah. Darn. All right, so Pilo has to think of a new something to do now. So
Okay.
I will.
With Pilo, if I may interrupt.
Yes.
With rose petals swirling.
Yep.
And Pilo, once again, by fate, not by my hand, denied a really, really cool spell because I think you were going to cast. Tell me I'm wrong. You were going to cast that reaching spell, the
Arouse
hands?
skeletons. Yeah.
The rouse skeleton spell.
They could do it right there. It'd be pretty effective.
Well, you get one guy out of it. But now you're thinking of something else, and we will hear that decision next time.